Welcome to Today at the Guild, podcasting results, news and winning performances from the 2025 Manx Music, Speech and Dance Festival.
Manx Radio's coverage of the Manx Music Festival is brought to you with Spectrum Windows. Find them on Facebook or spectrumwindows.im.
Fastamai and welcome to Today at the Guild. I'm Judith and I'm in the studio, but about 20 minutes ago on stage in the Royal Hall in the Villa Marina, it was announced that the recipient of the 2025 Cleveland Medal is Ruth Tickle. Massive congratulations to you, Ruth. The thing about the Cleveland Medal test is that all of those who have won through by virtue of taking high marks in their special solo singing classes, any one of those people is capable of taking that medal away. The quality of the singing is so high. But the adjudicator, who is a different adjudicator to the person who listened to all that the performers sing earlier in the week, it's a different adjudicator. They bring a fresh set of ears. They're looking for different things in the performance. And Ruth Tickle was the choice of the adjudicator for this one, Belinda McHale. So massive congratulations to Ruth Tickle. Her accompanist is Graham Kirkland, and we are going to hear Ruth sing for you now. Now, slightly different criteria for choosing music this year in that one song had to be of the performer's own choice. No restrictions at all, just an own choice song. The other song had to be by a composer who was still alive on the 31st of December last year. So, of course, this puts the performer into looking at the more modern composers. And as one, I think it was Matt Quinn who said to me earlier in the week, this is really taking us out of our comfort zone, which I think, in a way, is really what it had in mind, to break into new composers and new work. And Ruth's choice, as you're going to hear now, is by Ricky Ian Gordon. Now, he has taken a poem by the American poet Emily Dickinson and set it to music. It's called Will There Really Be a Morning? The words are beautiful. Will there really be a morning? Is there such a thing as day? Could I see it from the mountains if I were as tall as they? Had it feet like water lilies? Has it feathers like a bird? Is it brought from famous countries of which I have never heard? Oh, some scholar, oh, some sailor, oh, some wise man from the skies, please to tell a little pilgrim where the place called morning lies. And here is the winner of the Cleveland Medal Test, Ruth Tickle, to sing, and the magic begins here.
Could I see it from the mountain?
And that was the beautiful voice of Ruth Tickle, and Ruth, who is the recipient of the 2025 Cleveland Medal, the highest honour that the Guild bestows on the adult singers. And Ruth's accompanist there was Graham Kirkland. Now, the second piece, the very contrasting piece that Ruth chose, was Hear Ye Israel, big soprano solo from Mendelssohn's Elijah. And on Sunday night, when we've got a lot more time, because the first 3 hours of my programme on Sunday night between 9 and midnight will be a review of the whole of the week's Guild. I will play the Mendelssohn piece for you, Ruth singing the Mendelssohn piece, and I will also play some music for you from the other Cleveland Medal finalists, who were Karen Elliott, Graham Crowe, Matthew Quinn, Terry Qualtrough and Christine Edmondson, and they were all sounding excellent, all in great voice this week. And so we'll have some music from all of them on Sunday night when Sundown goes back to the Guild to bring you highlights from throughout the week. And so, from the Cleveland Medal, the highest honour that the Guild bestows on adult singers, let's hear some young voices, because we had a lovely time this afternoon with the start of the children's choir classes. I say the start of them because there will be some more in the Royal Hall tomorrow. It's going to be a great day. If you can get down, it'll be a lot of fun, because we've got children's choirs. We've got one of my favourite classes that never really works perfectly on the radio, and that is the action songs, and they're always terrific. So if you can come down to the Royal Hall, you will be sure of a great day's entertainment, because we've got school choirs, and then later on we've got the adult choirs, and that is always, it's just a complete concert. Always a lovely mix of music, and of course very, very skilled performances. So let's go back to today. And this was the choir class this afternoon that brought success for Peel Clothworkers School. 2 songs for you here. First of all, a bit of good advice here. Enjoy the Storm. This is Peel Clothworkers School, their winning performance.
Watch the sky before
They were great storm sound effects, weren't they? Oh, they feel quite chilly. Very, very good performance there from Peel Clothworkers School. Now, the only rules for this mixed choirs class, which incidentally is for 8 to 11-year-olds, the only rule is that there's a time limit of 8 minutes and they have to perform 2 contrasting pieces of their own choice. So, from enjoying the storm, we now go to something from Bruno Mars. Class-winning performance of Bruno Mars' Count on Me, and that was Peel Clothworkers School. It was a great class with loads of good entertainment from the Buchan School Prep Choir, and Ashley Hill Primary School came in joint second in that class, but we also had the Henry Bloom Noble School Choir, Arbury School Choir, Onchan School Choir, Ballacottia Primary School were there, and Cronkyberry School too. So very, very entertaining afternoon, and thank you all for great music. And a couple of little special gems. Before the class started, I was outside and we spotted Onchan School Choir doing their warm-up routine, going through getting their shoulders nicely relaxed and their best smiley faces on and doing their breathing exercises. And we did a little bit of filming of that just so you could see what goes in sort of behind the scenes, as you might say. And then when the class was all finished and everybody was outside in the sunshine, we met up with a few of the young people from Arbury School Choir with Dilys Sowery and Roisin Thornton Carr. And they did a little bit of, just a little impromptu, couple of verses of a great song that formed part of their programme, Strolling Down the Prom by Lynn Marsh. Lynn Marsh adjudicated at the festival quite some while ago, and she just fell in love with the island, and she's written some brilliant music for children, a lot of which has found its way into the Guild either as set test pieces or as choir's own choice. But this Strolling Down the Prom, not only has it got great words, but it's got a lovely set of actions too. So try and find the video. Now, lovely Chris Quirk, who you know as a presenter here on Manx Radio, well, he hasn't been on the radio this week because he's been down at the Villa Marina with me every day and just videoing anybody that we can find that we think will bring the spirit of the Guild to you. So if you have a look at Manx Radio's Facebook page, you will find the videos there, but you will also find them on our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and search for the Manx Radio channel, you will find a playlist there of all the Guild videos. And that's, in a way, it's easier because you know what it's like with Facebook. Things come along and then they sort of disappear down as other stories are added. And then it's sometimes quite tricky to find exactly what you're looking for. So if you head for the YouTube channel, if you head for YouTube and look for the Manx Radio channel, you will find all the Guild videos there. There is a great variety of them and they are very entertaining. And I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who was kind enough to stop and chat and sing songs and just generally bring the flavour of the Guild onto our YouTube channel so it's there for you to see. Now, we're going to come back to choirs in just a few moments, but let's go Manx now, because last night in the Promenade Suite we had several Manx classes, contemporary Manx spoken word, and also the work of Manx authors was featured in the classes. We're going to go to the class that featured the poems of T.E. Brown. It's an own choice class. The only thing was that the extract from the works of T.E. Brown had not to exceed 5 minutes. And again, with all the competitors in this class, a very high standard. But the first place was awarded to Deborah Taubman, and we're going to listen to Deborah now.
An extract from Betsy Lee. Now, most of you lads has had a spell of courting and that, and it's hard to tell, however a youngster comes to fancy that of all the girls it's Ginny or Nancy or Mary or Betsy that must be his'n. I don't know how it is or it isn't. And the girl I'm speaking of, Betsy Lee, mates, it's wonderful too, the years you may live dead on end with your eyes and your ears right alongside of the lass that's going to be your sweetheart, and you never knowing. Well, that's the way. For her father and mine was neighbours, and both in the fisherman line. And their cottages stood on the open beach, with a nice bit of garden at back of them each. You know the way them houses is fixed, with the pigs and the hens and the children mixed, and the mothers go round when the nights begin and whips up their own and takes them in. Her father was terrible fond of flowers, and his garden was twice as handsome as ours. A mortal keen eye he had for the varmin, and his talk was always of fishing and his farming. He had roses hanging above his door, uncommon fine roses they was, to be sure, and the joy of my heart was to pull them there and break them in pieces on Betsy's hair. Not that Betsy was much of a size, at the time I mean, but she had big eyes, so big and so blue and so far asunder. And she looked so solemn, I used to wonder. That was all just baby play. Well, I never took notions on Betsy Lee, nor no more did she, I suppose, on me, till one day, digging upon the sand, Gibbons, of course, you'll understand, a lad that was always a cheeky young sprout began a pulling of Betsy about, and he worried the wench till her shoulders were bare, and he slipped a knot of her beautiful hair, and down it come, as you may say, just like a shower of golden spray, blown this way and that by a gamesome breeze, and a rippling down to her knees. I looked at Betsy. Oh dear, how she stood, a quivering all over, and her face like blood, and her eyes all wet with tears like fire, and her breast a swelling higher and higher, and she gripped her sickle with a twitchy feel, and her thumb started out like a coil of steel. And a cloud seemed to pass from my eyes, and a glory, like them you'll see painted sometimes in a story, breathed out from her skin, and I saw her no more, the child I had always thought her before, but wrapped in the glory and wrapped in the hair, every inch of a woman stood panting there. So I ups with me fist as I was bound, and one for his knob and knocked him down. But from that day, by land and sea, I loved her. Oh, I loved her, my Betsy Lee. It's a terrible thing is love, did you say? Well, Edward, me lad, I'll not say nay. But you don't think of that when the young heart blows, leaf by leaf coming out like a rose, and your sheets is slacked off, and your blood is a-prancing, and the world seems a flower for you to dance on. Terrible, eh? Yes, you're right. But all the same, it's God's own light. Oh, there was something worth loving in her. As neat as a bird and as straight as a fair. And I've heard them say as she passed by, it was like another sun slipped into the sky. Kind to the old and kind to the young, with a smile on her lip and a laugh on her tongue. With a heart to feel and a head to choose, and she stood just 5 feet thorough in her shoes. Oh, I've seen her look. Well, I'll stop it. I've seen her turn. Well, then drop it. Seen? What? All under the sod the darling lies now. My God.
Wasn't that just magical? A winning performance in the class for poems of T.E. Brown. That was Deborah Taubman. In second place was Corey Phillips. And in a moment, we will go back to the choirs, and this time we'll be hearing from the Gaelic choirs.
Manx Radio's coverage of the Manx Music Festival is brought to you with Spectrum Windows. Find them on Facebook or spectrumwindows.im.
And again, we're at a choir class now, Gaelic choirs up to year 13, and the only rule is 2 contrasting pieces of the choir's own choice. And we had Kristene Wilson, who was in charge of Skeealyn Vannin, and we're going to listen to 2 pieces from them. First of all, Ushag Veg Ruy. Skeealyn Vannin, conducted by Kristene Wilson, and Ushag Veg Ruy, Little Red Bird. And the two pieces, you're going to hear another piece by the same choir, their two pieces have both got links to people who give a tremendous amount to the Manx Music Festival. That arrangement of the traditional Manx song was by Frank Woolley, who is one of the Guild's official accompanists as well, of course, as being very much involved in Ireland music in many ways. Their second piece is a composition by Katie Lawrence, and Katie Lawrence is just such a gifted musical director, arranger, composer and teacher of children, inspirational teacher of children. So many young people she has introduced to the joys of music, and here's Skeealyn Vannin to sing one of Katie's compositions. Skeealyn Vannin and Grine Veg Oarn, a song composed by Katie Lawrence. And that was a winning performance in the Gaelic Choirs class. And we also had some fine music from King William's College Lower School Choir, conducted by Mrs. Dakin. And they had the beautiful Sea Invocation in their programme. And all of this music we can come back to, although our coverage of the Guild runs out. We've got 3 hours on Sunday night. But beyond that, all this music lives on, because every Sunday night at 11:15 on Sundown, we play a couple of tracks of local music, and I'm constantly going into our Guild recordings to find music to share with you on that. So the music just goes on and on. Now, let's go to songs from the musicals. And I think that there seems to be an even greater and greater interest in musical theatre. It grows year on year in the Guild, which is very exciting. And it's great to see so many young people so interested, working so hard on their music. And I've got some fine performances for you to listen to now. We're going to begin. This is a class from Thursday evening in the Royal Hall, and it's songs from the musicals and also including light opera. It's an adult class, and it's just an own choice of song, anything from film and television as well as from musicals. And we had a first place for a lady who is singing so well this week. And she is Maia Haddock, and she's chosen a song from Follies. Her accompanist is David Holland, and Maia was one of the very few people throughout this Guild who have got marks of great distinction, and that means a mark of 90 or above. And that was what Maia did. And here she is to sing for you now, Losing My Mind, Maia Haddock.
The sun comes up, I think about you, the coffee cup, I think about you, and do they know it's like I'm losing my mind? I talk to friends and think about you. And do they know it's like I'm losing my mind? All afternoon doing every little chore, the thought of you stays bright. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the floor, not going left, not going right. I dim the lights and think about you, spend sleepless nights to think about you. You said you loved me, or were you just being kind? Or am I losing my mind? I want you so, it's like I'm losing my mind. Does no one know it's like I'm losing my mind? All afternoon doing every little chore, the thought of you stays bright. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the floor, not going left, not going right. I dim the lights and think about you, spend sleepless nights to think about you. You said you loved me, or were you just being kind? Or am I losing my mind?
Wasn't that a wonderfully confident and assured class-winning performance there from Maia Haddock? And from the musical Follies, it was Losing My Mind. And her accompanist was David Holland. Now, there were lots of fine performances and an excellent second place for Rhiannon Mellor, but there's also an additional award for this class, and it is for the most entertaining performance, not necessarily one of the winning performances, one of the most entertaining ones. And it was Richard Corlett who took this prize. Now, Richard is great for putting his heart and soul into these costumed performances. I remember last year he was taking, I think it was in a Victorian, the Victorian and Edwardian ballad class, and he came in. He was a young man taking a holiday in the days when you had a boater and a striped jacket, and he looked terrific. He really looked the part. But my abiding memory of Richard is when he was very small, and he was a member of Gael Force, and he was with Barbara Gale's Gael Force Theatre School for a number of years. And I remember Richard and also Moira Payne, and they remained with Gael Force, but because they were a little older than the youngsters coming in, they were wonderfully helpful and supportive in helping Barbara to organise, and they were really good role models for the little ones. And I remember both Richard and Moira in that capacity. Moira is a doctor now, lives away, married, and recently had a little baby, and the years go by. But Richard happily still is able to take part in the Guild, and he took the honours in the Songs from the Musicals for the most entertaining performance. Now, I was here when this class was actually going on. I was here doing the programme last night, but I'm told that he was in a complete costume and some very well-applied face paint. I wish I could bring you the pictures to go with this. Sadly, I can't, but I can bring you the music. Richard Corlett, winner of the most entertaining performance in the songs from the musicals, and the song is A Friend Like Me.
Had them 40 thieves, Shahrazad had 1,000 tales. Well, master, you're in luck, 'cause up your sleeves you got a brand of magic never fails. You got some power in your corner now, some heavy ammunition in your camp. You got some punch, what's that? Yeah, who and how, see all you gotta do is rub that lamp. And I say, Mr. Aladdin, sir, what will your pleasure be? Let me take your order, jot it down. You ain't never had a friend like me. No, no, no. Life is your restaurant, and I'm your maitre d'. Come on, whisper what it is you want. You ain't never had a friend like me. Yes, sir, we pride ourselves on service. You're the boss, the king, the shah. Say what you wish, it's yours, true dish. Have a little more baklava. Have some of column A, try all of column B. I'm in the mood to help you, dude. You ain't never had a friend like me. Wow, 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 yeah, yeah. Wow, 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 oh my. Wow, 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 no, no. Can your friends do this? Can your friends do that? Can your friends pull this of that little heart? Can your friends go poof? Well, looky here. Can your friends go abracadabra, let her rip and then make the sucker disappear? So don't you sit there slack-jawed, boogie-eyed, here to answer all your midday prayers. You got a bona fide certified, you got a genie for your shard affairs. I got a powerful urge to help you out. Say what's your wish, I really wanna know. You got a list that's 3 miles long, no doubt. Well, all you gotta do is rub like so. I know, Mr. Aladdin, sir, have a wish or 2 or 3. I'm on the job, you big nabob. You ain't never had a friend, never had a friend. You ain't never had a friend, never had a friend. You ain't never had a friend like me. Wah, 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 oh yeah, wah, wah, wah. My, you ain't never had a friend like me. Yeah!
You ain't never had a friend like me. And indeed, we could all do with a genie, couldn't we, to be our best friend. Richard Corlett taking the prize for the most entertaining performance. And that was Friend Like Me from the Disney Aladdin, and his costume was a genie's costume, and the traditional genie costume with the big silk trousers and all of that. So, Richard, thank you very much indeed for that. And Richard's accompanist, the accompanist for that class, was David Holland, and he's somebody else that we chatted to on video. Very, very interesting man. Whole life is music, and he had some very interesting things to say. Well worth having a look at the video. Now, let's just have one more song from the songs from the musicals. The song is Still Hurting. It's a second placed performance, but just one mark behind the class winner, Maia Haddock, was Rhiannon Mellor. And here she is to sing for you now. Her choice of song, Still Hurting.
Jamie is over and Jamie is gone. Jamie's decided it's time to move on. Jamie has new dreams he's building upon. And I'm still hurting. Jamie arrived at the end of the still hurting. What about lies, Jamie? What about things that you swore to be true? What about you, Jamie? What about you? Jamie is sure something wonderful died. Jamie decides it is right to decide. Jamie's got secrets he doesn't confide. And I'm still hurting. Go and hide and run away. Run away. Run and find something better. Go and ride the sun away. Run away. Like it's simple, like it's right. Give me a day, Jamie. Bring back the lies. Hang them back on the wall. Maybe I'd see how you could be so certain that we had no chance at all. Jamie is over, and where can I turn? Covered with scars, I did nothing to earn. Maybe there's somewhere a lesson to learn, but that wouldn't change the fact. That wouldn't speed the time. Once the foundation's cracked, and I'm still hurting.
From the film The Last 5 Years, that was Still Hurting, sung for us there by Rhiannon Mellor, and that took her second place in the songs from the musicals. Now, we've been talking about the Cleveland Medal, which was awarded just an hour and a half or so ago, but there are some big awards still to come, very big awards. Another one will have been decided tonight. Don't have the result of that one, but I will have for when we talk on Sunday night, and that's the vocal duets final for the Belawn Rose Bowl, and this involves the 3 duettists who won their individual classes a couple of nights ago. The mixed voice duet would be Jane Corkill and Paul Costain, the male voice duet Lorcan O'Marney and Simon Fletcher, and the ladies voice duet Debbie Gooding and Jane Murray. And they will have been singing again on stage in the Royal Hall tonight, and one of them will be selected to receive the Belawn Rose Bowl, the prestigious award for duet singing. Now, tomorrow night, we have got 2 big awards. The first of them, the Sheffield Plate, which I've been talking about really all through the week, and that's the highest honour that the Guild bestows on young voices. And we've got some tremendously talented youngsters who will be on stage in the Royal Hall 6 o'clock tomorrow night, singing the songs, the set songs from their solo voice classes, and one of those will be selected to receive the Sheffield Plate. And it would be lovely to have a great audience to encourage the youngsters. So if you could come along, we'd love to see you there. There's also another really significant award that will be made tomorrow night, and that's the Pat Corrin Memorial Trophy. Now, Pat Corrin, she gave so much to the Guild. She was one of the organisers of the Guild for many years, but also as a teacher of the spoken word, she inspired a love of poetry in young people. She was excellent at drawing together choral speaking groups of youngsters and of adults as well. An inspirational teacher. She also did a lot of work with people who needed to speak, to do with their job, if they had to give talks or lectures and required that extra little bit of communication help. She would work with them. And of course, she put a lot of youngsters through their English speaking board exams. And it's right that she should be immortalised in an award that will go on year by year. And so there is now a medal that is known as the Pat Corrin Award. It's been designed by Jenny Kissack, and it will be awarded annually to the winners of the spoken word final. And the way this will be determined is there are 3 classes of spoken word, and the first and second placed in each of those 3 classes will compete again. They will repeat their poems tomorrow night at 6. This will be in the Promenade Suite whilst the Sheffield Plate is going on in the Royal Hall, and they will repeat their poems, and one of them will be selected to receive the Pat Corrin Memorial Trophy and the medal that they will have, and also an award of £100. So wonderful that Pat's work and her name will be immortalised, because that's what our trophies are all about when we see them all arrayed on the table there. They, each of them, tell a story. And I was interested to see that one of the classes recently that was competed for was the Regal Singers Cup. And of course, we no longer have the Regal Singers, but so wonderful that that award will go on for years and years and years, and will be a way of remembering, in that case, a very fine choir. And in the case of this Pat Corrin Memorial Trophy, it will be remembering a lady who gave so much to spoken word here on the island. And that, of course, is the beauty of our awards. And we look at the table of trophies and salvers and shields, and my goodness, when we see them before the Guild actually starts, before a single one has been given away, each of them have those precious memories all bound up inside them. The horrifying thing here is that I'm about to be beaten by the clock, and I've still got loads of music that I want to share with you. It's just a good job that we'll be together again on Sunday night from 9, and I hope you'll be joining me there, because I've so much to share with you.
Captain Ahab, I must speak with you. Sir.
This is the fine voice of Neil Taverner and a winning performance from the operatic solo.
Ah, he is sleeping. He would have shot me. There's the very musket he pointed at me. Loaded, aye, and powder in the pan. He would have killed me with the very thing in my hands. Aye, would he fain kill all his crew. My soul swears this ship will come to deadly harm. What cares Ahab? Is there no other way, no lawful way? Make him a prisoner to be taken home. Raise the old man's it. The men have found high vows. Now all of us are Ahabs. Oh Lord, is it murder to strike a would-be murderer in his bed? Oh Lord, what shall I do? One touch and stomach may survive to see his wife and child again return to them alive. Oh Mary, oh my boy, great God, where art thou now?
Somebody else who has been singing so well this week, and that is baritone Neil Taverner. And there he was with Starbuck's soliloquy from Moby Dick by Jake Heggie, a composer that Neil favours very much at the moment, and his accompanist there was Madeleine Kelly. And we have just almost run out of time once again. Just a few seconds left for me to say thank you very much indeed for sharing this time as we have been today at the Guild. If you can get down to the Villa Marina tomorrow, we've got great entertainment for you. You will have a terrific time. Plan to spend as long as you can there, and you can listen to the children and the adult choirs and go and listen to the spoken word down in the prom. If you can't do that, we don't actually have any coverage here on Manx Radio for Saturday, but join me 9 o'clock Sunday night and we'll have loads from the Guild. Fast am I.
Manx Radio's coverage of the Manx Music Festival is brought to you with Spectrum Windows. Find them on Facebook or spectrumwindows.im.
Thank you for listening to our coverage of the 2025 Guild. Podcasts of all our reports are available shortly after broadcast at manxradio.com or via your usual podcast provider. And you can find video interviews with performers, teachers and other Guild celebrities also on the Manx Radio website and on our Facebook page too, with new ones added every day.